So when I was 16, my father committed suicide. It was a weird day. I remember eating around the table with my mom's best friend and my mom's other best friend, and we were just having fun talking. I was supposed to go to New York the next day, right? Life throws you lemons, and sometimes you just don't make lemonade. The door knocked, and my mom answered the door, and we saw a cop there, and all of us were like, "Oh, a cop! Oh, my mom's gonna love this!" And she kept running back and forth, inside and out. And we're like, "What the heck's going on here? Like, trying to get a number or something like that?" And then we realized the cop was there to tell me my father died. When I heard that news, I remember being in shock. I cried, obviously. I ran out of the house and I went to my girlfriend's place at the time. And I just remember being upset. And then she asked what happened, and I didn't know. And then my mom picked me up finally about an hour or two later. And when we were in the car, she told me, "Okay, I didn't want to tell you this, but it had something to do with a gun." And my mind was going 1,000 miles a second, thinking, like, did someone shoot him? Like, was he, like, helping a kid out? Like, what happened? And then another hour or two later, my mom finally decided to tell me that he committed suicide. Getting the full picture was just, it overcame me. I was baffled. I had no idea. No idea. The last time I saw him, I was picking my N64. And he came up to the door and he looked out of it like he wasn't my dad. And I just brushed it off. I just didn't listen. I didn't pay attention to it. I was horrible at calling. He would always tell me every week, "You better call me or you better call your grandma because you never know how long we're going to be around for." Never called him. And I started to feel regret and blame. I found out years later, that he died 3 weeks before we got the news. He was in his house for 3 weeks, lying there, dead. And no one knew. I didn't call. Self-guilt. It's now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let it run you over? Because for me, it ran me over good. I definitely blame myself for a lot of things. But then dealing with it, that's the next step that took me a long time. I wasn't ready for it, but it was healing. Being willing to not blame yourself and say it's okay. It really was out of your control. I could have called him. I could have listened to his conversations more. I could have went to Wonderland with him. But it might have not made the difference. We don't know. And having that stop me, or even having it stop you, it's not fair to yourself. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to your loved ones. So being able to, again, be healed, that was a big step for me. Now, I'm still going through steps, but healing is definitely something that you need to grant permission for. The next step I'm still waiting for. So I found this tool that if I wrote down everything that happened from the beginning of my first thought of my father to the very end of his death, and just found the small things in between that I either regretted, wish I did, wish he didn't, and then just put 3 steps to each one of what happened, what really happened, and then how to deal with it. Just doing one, which takes forever, trust me, if you really get down to the details of it, bash through the glass like it was shattered. Like I felt like I was finally dealing with something that I kept to myself for years.